Hello there. I've got a lot of stuff on this desk, so pardon me, bear with me. Um, Hi there. So, I am on the road in Delaware visiting family and going to the beach. It's Labor Day weekend. I, at the last minute, just decided to kind of get away and do something, just like a quick getaway from New York. And honestly, I didn't decide last minute. So I was going to go to Florida, but there's a hurricane headed to Florida. So of course, that was not the best option. Anyway, so I had a long trip to Delaware. And train delays, the whole nine. Everyone and their mom is heading south from the New York and New Jersey area. So here I am. It's late. I'm just now eating. Where's my phone? I don't know how late it is. It's after midnight. It's like 12:45 probably. And so I am going to do a mukbang and just talk about some things because I never do a mukbang and I'm overdue for another video. So here we go. As I get started, I'll just tell you the process for selecting this food. I don't know what this restaurant is called. I mean, the ketchup isn't branded, but I had planned to go out and like go get some food and maybe a drink at the bar, at some bar, even the hotel bar. By the time I got here, the food service at the hotel was ending in 5 minutes, even though the directory in the room says that they serve until 1 a.m. I go down to the front desk and the lady's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We stopped serving, we close at 11 and even our bar isn't open until 1. So I'm like, why would the directory say this? Okay. And by the way, this is weird hotel lighting. I don't know how to make it any brighter in here, so my apologies for the dark contrast, and this is just going to be a dark video in terms of lighting because I don't know how to fix it. So anyway, yeah, when I got here, so I'm in Wilmington right now, and it was after dark. I didn't really like how things looked. Like, I just didn't want to go frolicking down the street at night, and so I kind of changed my plan. By then, like, I didn't feel like going out or any of that stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just order DoorDash. So I did that. Well, I went on to DoorDash, and while I was deciding, literally everything except McDonald's closed. And so then I looked at Uber Eats, and there were these places. Like, at first I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm kind of close to the ocean. I guess maybe the seafood is good. I'm sure it comes in, on the coast, and, it's pretty fresh by the time it gets here. So I was looking at this seafood place, and the seafood was like soul food style, fried and battered. And I was like, that's not really what I had in mind. So then I keep looking. Basically, there were like maybe 5 options available on, maybe like 7 options available on DoorDash. Or no, I'm sorry, on Uber Eats. DoorDash was closed by now, except McDonald's. And so I'm looking at the menu and seeing like the same items, even though like one is listed as seafood, one is listed as pizza, one is listed as like burgers. They have all that stuff, but then they have like the same items as you keep scrolling down, and things are priced more or less the same, and the wording is more or less the same. So really, I think it's like this diner or like the same restaurant that is listed 5 different times under 5 different names on Uber Eats. But whatever, it was open. I'm about to try it. I ended up ordering the chicken tender meal combo, I guess you call it, although it didn't come with a drink. Chicken tenders with fries and a Greek salad. The Greek salad is really big. So maybe we'll just do the chicken tenders. Or maybe, if I'm feeling Greek salad, I'll have some of that. But I definitely want to get into these chicken tenders. There's a dipping sauce. So there's honey mustard. These are my chicken tenders with fries. This is what the box looks like. It's got a big America with the America flag on it. No branding whatsoever. I have no idea really what this place is called. It's a little bit suspect, but it's like I say, adventure. So the prices are lower here in Delaware, which is nice, but I didn't like that I paid $1.89 for this bottle of water. I thought I was gonna get like a liter, and nothing is really like labeled with descriptions and things, so yeah, but this is what happens when you're like trying to eat somewhere random at like 11 a.m., 10 a.m. So here is my chicken tender, and I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna dip it in the sauce. I don't know if I'm a sauce person anymore. Like historically I've not been into sauces, but like occasionally I'm in the mood for sauce. So today I'm in a sauce mood, I guess. So I'm gonna try the first bite with the sauce. It's fine. It's pretty good. It tastes like any run-of-the-mill chicken tender you would have at a bar. They taste exactly like chicken tenders from somewhere I can't really think of. But yeah, bar food. I always say you can never go wrong with chicken tenders. I'm not gonna starve, although I should, there are really starving people, but I'm not gonna go hungry. Good, fine. Even though technically I probably could have waited till tomorrow. So I'm doing I'm back on my intermittent fasting. I did a video on that earlier. So I did it for like a week, 2 weeks, and then I was like, you know what, I can just maybe I can just like not eat after a certain time, or like I don't remember what my plan was, but it was a more structured thing, but it wasn't intermittent fasting necessarily. Or maybe it was like a more general form of it where I would like only eat, I don't know, like I would only eat at night or something. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing, but I did that. So I actually got down, I dropped about 4 pounds, and then here's why I stopped. So I dropped the 4 pounds while I wasn't doing like the more strict version of the intermittent fasting, where like in my case I was eating after 1, but until like 9:30 or 7:30, I don't remember. And then I don't think at that point I had begun like doing like a full day of fasting, or like from sun up to sundown at least. But once I got out of that and just kind of like did I cut carbs? I don't remember. I really love popcorn. But anyway, like I became less strict with my eating, and I dropped those 4 pounds. But then I got back into eating, like, I don't even want to tell you how much smart food popcorn I was eating, but a lot of it. And I wasn't going to the gym as much. And then the thing that was really like got my attention, I went to Atlanta, and I had a lot of alcohol on that trip, and that's the only thing I can think of that would have caused a difference. But I don't eat and talk. But if you know me, you know that I have like very finicky kind of like sensitivities to food habits, eating habits, and things like that. Anyway, so I went to Atlanta, and I was there for a weekend, and then I came back like heavier than I was before, even before I started the intermittent fasting. So I was like, okay, I gotta do something. So yeah, I went on like fruits and vegetables. No, I went on a juice fast really for like 3-4 days. I discovered that I wasn't hungry, and that's how I knew that I was just like eating too much and too much calorie dense food. So I did that juice fast, and that took some of the weight off, so that I was like, I wasn't back down to like where I was after I dropped those 4 pounds, but I was at like the starting point before. And then after the juice fast, I think I did like, so yeah, I guess that brings me up to speed to today more or less. So now I'm doing more veggies. Like this isn't really what I would be eating typically anyway, and it's not what I had planned to eat. I had planned to go out and get like a salad and maybe like some steak or something lean. Maybe not a drink, probably not a drink. I've been not drinking as much. I mean, I don't drink a lot nowadays anyway, but just like alcohol, man. Um, and so yeah, like that. So this is what I'm doing now. Basically, I have been doing a sun up to sundown fast 1 or 2 days a week. I um I have been pretty good about eating no earlier than 1:30 p.m. I've not been great. I've been okay about cutting off my eating, but like I think one day like I had like no calories, and so I had like something, light at night, late night. And I've been going to the gym more regularly. I try to do at least a 20-minute elliptical session. I'm doing weights a little bit more, and or the weight machines. And so like in the past 2 days, not counting today, but like yesterday and the day before, I dropped a full pound. And so that's getting things back on the right track. So now I'm below the weight that I was at by I'm back to that weight. The weight that I was at when I originally started going to the gym last August. And I am 4 pounds again. Like, so technically I'm like 4 pounds up from where I was when I dropped those 4 pounds. So it's like back at the starting point. And I'm going to see how it goes. This is a vacation, so I'm not crazy about counting calories, though I'm considering beginning to do that. But yeah, like I'm not a very legalistic eater in terms of like food. I just try now, and I know that I need to be better about exercising. I think I'm more of an exercise person than I'm a restricted eating person. But quite frankly, once I got right and cut out the popcorn, the smart food popcorn, and started eating more veggies, like more salads, and less processed food, actually. So I'm not a big fast food person, but like cutting out the processed food, I haven't really wanted anything like this. It's just what happens to be available right now. So that's helped a lot. Now, yeah, so my plan, I'm gonna go to brunch with my cousin and his family tomorrow. And, I don't know, I'll try to do like a protein dense breakfast. I'm really finicky about eggs, though. So maybe I'll do like some fresh fruit, something like that. After I eat this, I'm probably gonna go to the hotel gym. Thank goodness the gym is supposedly open 24/7. That same brochure that said that the lounge was open says that the fitness center is gonna be open. But I think it's probably just key card access, so we'll see. So yeah, basically that's it. I'm eating a lot of calories now, but I'm going to hopefully burn quite a bit of them off before bed. I'm gonna go to the beach. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It depends. Like if my cousins, I don't know. I haven't seen their new house. I may go do that. I'm probably gonna try to go to the beach tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'm gonna go Monday. I've never been to the beach in Delaware. I've been to the beach in New York and New Jersey. Wanted to go to Rhode Island. Thought it was going to be a bit of a hassle. Booking a hotel at the last minute and all that stuff. So we'll see how this goes. Impressions on Wilmington. I arrived at night. I walked around at the suggestion of the hotel guy downstairs. First of all, I'm like, why would you tell me to walk at night? And then he pointed it to like the place that was still open and serving food. And I was like, I mean, I can basically see it from the hotel. I'm going to walk over there. Why did I do that? I didn't feel in danger necessarily, but like, there's just like characters like lingering on the street. the place that he pointed out was kind of like clubby, but not, I don't know. It didn't seem like a sit down and eat type of place, and there are people like yelling outside out front, and I'm just like, let me go back to the hotel. So here I am, and they don't deliver as far as I know. They should. I come back and there's people getting their Dominoes that they had ordered. Apparently, the late night food situation in this part, at least, is a struggle. So, yeah, that's that. Getting down here was wacky. There were a lot of train delays. I was gonna try to take the high speed train all the way down, an idea that just occurred to me. But that train had actually left by the time I got to the station. So, fortunately, there are a lot of different options up here. Thing is, sometimes, or leaving out of New York Penn. Thing is, sometimes those options like aren't all timely. But it was okay. And even the trains weren't too crowded, even though I thought that like there was a massive stampede. I shouldn't say stampede. There was a massive herd of people at Penn taking trains down down into South Jersey. And but fortunately like the train was really big and could accommodate everyone, or maybe I just walked to like the lesser populated section. So that wasn't a problem. Oh, my hand. That's so weird. How do you get a hand cramp while you're eating? What have I been doing? Have I been not like exercising my hands enough? Or maybe it's from all the exercise. I've been sore. I've been working out to the point of like waking up sore the next morning, which is actually really great. I used to really like that about playing sports, the conditioning part. I didn't like the conditioning per se, but I like the sore feeling when you wake up. It's like a positive type of soreness. And it's nice when you stretch. So yeah, I've been feeling like that. Although I don't today, and I worked out yesterday. So I'm drinking Sierra Mist. I don't know, slim pickings. I'm not a big carbonated beverage person. I'm certainly not a Pepsi beverage person. I'm all Coca-Cola. I'm from Atlanta. So, yeah, like, this is a rare sighting. But it says on the can that it's made with real sugar, so that's nice. So, about other things. Yeah, this week has been kind of, I'm looking at my phone. This week has been kind of wacky. But good in a lot of ways. So, a lot of changes with, not, I mean, yeah, like good changes with work. So, I had been working on this other business opportunity, in insurance, and I did like a 3-month thing with some two partners I was working with to see if it like was a good fit for me and for them. So I'm still gonna be doing it. I'm not gonna be devoting as much time to it. But I did get a lot of value out of the 3 months. So my partners actually, I mean, it's weird because I don't know, it was like the three of us had different knowledge, areas of knowledge and skill sets. And so they helped me learn more about the industry, but at the same time, there's just stuff that I didn't learn because they don't know much about the opportunity they wanted to bring me into themselves. So we were all learning together. And I talk about this vaguely, like on my video called Working with a Business Partner, which I don't know if it's uploaded to this channel, but maybe I will if I haven't. So yeah, it was like a weird opportunity that they didn't necessarily have time to invest in, but it's valuable for them, for their insurance agencies that they own, and also like the soft skills, I possess those to kind of make the opportunity work. And so we came together in that way. I have learned a lot about insurance, and I'm still learning. But yeah, so like now I'm still gonna be working with them, but in an even more independent capacity. So they did invest in a lot of me just like getting started and that in helping them in that way, getting licensed, just like being around their offices. I learned a lot about insurance, but I still like it's still a learning process for like this area where we're partnering. And I wanted to do it my way and to use my skill set to make it work. But for them, they felt like it was a risk because those aren't necessarily their strengths. Even though one of them, I feel like he has like kind of the same strengths, but not exactly. Yeah. So like it took a lot of convincing and this and that, and I was able to get them to like branch out and stretch and like look at some other ways of bringing business into their funnel. And I got to try out some things for myself, and so like they paid me for my time that I invested in learning about insurance and all this stuff and figuring things out and how to set up a funnel for this to work for all of us. And I've learned some things, and some things are looking pretty good. I've developed in some ways that'll help me with my professional organizing business, and I've actually started implementing things on that end as well, that I've learned through that opportunity, that side business, the insurance thing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it, but I'm going to have more free time I'm gonna have more freedom to do that the way I want to do it, to go about generating leads for that insurance business, to go about creating a sales funnel the way I want to. I'm a little bit freer to be as creative as I'd like to, and I'm also freer with my time to work on expanding my organizing business in a more hands-on way, to get back to that, because I took a step back from doing that for like 3 months, and then I'm like, you know what, this is what I'm passionate about, and I need to be able to like feed into that. And so now I'm back to doing that more so, but I've got some great ideas, ways I'm going to be expanding, some cool things that have been working for me in that arena. And so I'm excited. I keep forgetting to eat. This is what it's like to have dinner with me, kind of. Other stuff, just wacky family stuff. I have a brother who has a mental illness, a mental condition, let's say, mental illness, sure. It's gotten worse in the past few years because he hasn't been taking medicine. So he's been like, his behavior has gotten worse. He's acting out in some ways, stressful. It hasn't been easy for my oldest brother. He is like, I don't know, that's like a whole thing. Yeah, that's like a whole thing. Like it'll take a lot of explaining, but so we've been dealing with that. I've been dealing with that. I bring this up, and this will kind of explain things actually, or yeah, at least some things. I told my oldest brother, they're both older, that people sometimes get in the way and block other people's bad karma. And what I mean by that is sometimes you want to help someone, but perhaps that person has done a lot of And this is a good way to think of behavior. Like, what you do is sowing seeds for something later, a harvest that you're going to reap later. So even like small things, and that's why consistency counts, and consistency is important when you're building a business, when you're doing anything. So what I mean by getting in the way and intercepting someone else's bad karma, or like blocking it, getting caught up in it when it's not even intended for you. So some people have been sowing bad seeds just like for years, all along. And I'm not entirely talking about my brother with the mental illness, although some of it does apply, especially in recent years, just because like he's done a lot of things that under ordinary circumstances would burn a lot of bridges with people, and that have to an extent, like, yeah. So, but generally speaking, let's say a person who lies all the time, and they use people, and people who don't take care of their kids, people who commit crimes, my nose itches, things like that. But imagine a person who's invested decades into doing that type of stuff. Though they have a friend or a family member who feels obligated to help them. So the person who wants to help, so the person who has let's focus on the person who has this history of negative behavior and just screwing people over and being a jerk. It just occurred to me that my fries are cold. That sucks. There's like no microwave in here. Anyway, so let's focus on the person with the bad behavior who's been sowing the bad seed all this time. So a lot of times people who have that pattern may be manipulative. Maybe they're not, but oftentimes they are, if they have like a pattern of using people. So, yeah, let's talk about that. So, that person, human nature, like, you want to be saved usually. You want someone to help you out. Misery loves company. So like a person in that situation, of course, they typically want, maybe not always, because some people are just like jerks and they're like, look, stay away from me, I'm a jerk. But then you have jerks that aren't like that, and they don't mind getting someone else dirty and involved in their mess. Let's talk about that type of person, the one who doesn't mind getting dirty and getting someone else involved in their mess. So that's person A. Person B is in that person's life and they want to help. So they're just like a compassionate person, they're an empath, or there's like a family relationship, or they've been friends for decades, or this person just like helped them, saved their life, did something for them years ago, and they feel indebted to that person for whatever reason. So they want to help the person who has the bad behavior. Understandable to want to help, but you run the risk, depending on how much you extend yourself, you run the risk of the person with the history of the bad behavior seeing an opportunity to take advantage of you. And even if they don't, you also run the risk, and this is getting back to what I was saying before about intercepting someone else's bad karma. Like, if you don't know how to establish boundaries and how to distance yourself in the right ways from that person's, it'll vary based on from case to case, but their lifestyle, or like getting sucked into like whatever, if they're a manipulator, or if they just like have a lot of bad stuff coming around. If you don't know how to separate yourself and help from a safe distance, or like politely tell them you can't help them, or like find someone else who can, set them up with some services, something, but from a safe distance, you're on the risk of getting sucked into that whirlpool of negative crappiness that they've got going on in their life. I'll give you a concrete example so that, a black and white example, so it's easy to grasp. Let's say that person is a drug dealer and they've pissed off a lot of drug dealers. They stole some drugs from somebody else and they're like selling them or whatever. I watch a lot of crime TV in case you can't tell. But pretend they're a drug dealer. They have this family member that wants to help. So, let's say the person is always getting into situations where they're getting evicted. Not necessarily because they don't have the money, but because let's say they're always on the run because they just like do very dirty, shady things and people are always looking for them for revenge purposes or whatever. So maybe they're not getting evicted, but they're always moving. So they call the friend up and they're like, man, I need a place to stay. I can't stay at my apartment anymore. Maybe the landlord found out what I'm doing and they kicked me out. Maybe they just like stopped paying the rent or whatever. Maybe they fully disclose that someone's looking for them and they need a place, they need to lay low. So they call this person who's not even involved in that life up and they say, hey, can you help me out? They may or may not disclose the full story. That person feels inclined because this is a lifelong friend. This is a brother. This is a cousin. This is a nephew, an uncle, a grandparent, you name it, a best friend, or even just a good friend. Maybe this person like gave them a loan when they needed it, or the drug dealer gave them a loan when they needed it or something. So they want to help this person. They're not obligated. They pay the money back, but they just want to help this person because they like this person. They have like a history with this person. So the drug dealer comes and stays at your house. If those people find out where that person is staying, guess what's going to happen? Do you think, let's say they go, this is a very hood example. Although, like it's not just the hood. We've seen like the mafia movies and whatnot. So, so like the people who are looking for the drug dealer guy, they find out that he's staying at your place, right? So, or at the good person, the good friend, whatever's place. Now, when they come looking for the drug dealer, do you think that their bullets are going to discriminate between the person, the drug dealer guy who has this unsettled beef or score or whatever with them, and that person's family member, or that person's, or the friend and the friend, or that person's friend or family member that's helping them? Or do you think the bullets are going to distinguish between the person who is the drug dealer that's like in the trouble, whatever, and the friend or family member's property, the house where they're staying, that person's car, that person's kids? Do you think these people who have this score they're trying to settle with this person who has this history of just like screwing people over are going to be like asking questions? I mean, maybe if they're nice, they might show up and be like, you can go, this is between me and him. But that doesn't happen all the time. So I use that very extreme example to illustrate that the same principle applies. Like, and even the Bible says, don't keep company with fools, because when their downfall comes, it'll come and affect the people around them too. You got to be careful. You got to watch out. Like, and may God have grace and protect those who are like unknowing and don't mean to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I mean, even if you look at situations where, let's say you work for like a Bernie Madoff type of situation where like a company is involved in some illegal dealings or something, and then the law enforcement comes in to like raid the place, do you think they're going to be asking you like, oh, okay, I see you work at this desk, like when you're working in the accounting department, do you do the illegal stuff or do you do like some other function? No, they're coming in and they're seizing all your files. They're probably going to arrest you too, and they're going to sort it out at the station. Um, but yeah, I studied law, so like it's easy for me to make examples with crime stories. But same applies to liars, same applies to people with bad tempers. Whatever seed that person is sowing, you got to be careful if you want to help them. You got to do it from a safe distance. I'm not saying don't help at all. There are some family members that I try to help, but from a safe distance. Like, I won't even go within 100 feet of them. Half the time, I'm not even within 100 miles of them. More than half the time. But I try to do what I can behind the scenes to help. And you can do that, just don't get sucked in. Because you may block a negative consequence, or you may intercept a negative consequence, or share in a negative consequence that is intended for that person, but it touches you as well. It affects you as well. It causes you to experience a loss as well. Just because you are in close proximity and you will not back away in the way that you need to. So, yeah, that's what I told my brother. Like, you gotta not involve yourself in somebody else's bad karma. Because I know you want to help this person, but you gotta put your foot down and look after yourself too. First. Not two, not just two, but first. Because the other thing about people who are accustomed to sowing bad seeds is they're bad seeds in terms of like shady behavior, doing the wrong thing to people, using people, being a manipulator, being evil. Thing about those people is oftentimes they're used to the negative consequences that come to them, and they won't be affected by that stuff the way you will, or the way you would if it were to happen to you. So maybe they're accustomed to going to jail and they don't care. You don't want to go to jail if you're not about that life. You know, maybe they're accustomed to getting evicted and getting kicked out of houses and things. That's not for you. If you got kids, or if you just like having a nice roof over your head, don't bring people around who will threaten that. And beyond that, like health, stress, worry, all this stuff. Like, if you see this stuff happening to you, why won't you just back away, create a safe buffer between you and that person and whatever mess they have going on? You can't help a person. They say you can't pour from an empty cup, but you can't help a person. That's true. But what do you look like trying to help a person get their life together when yours isn't together? You could lose your health. You could lose your home. You could lose, maybe you're like financially worse off because of what's going on. Like, it makes no sense to continue down that path. You gotta like say, okay, I tried to help you. I got some things to straighten out. I need to get back on my feet. I need to like recover my peace of mind, get my home together, my head together. Like, I'm concerned about my safety. Or even if you don't want to say all of that, just, like, there are polite, neat ways to cut ties with that situation. And it doesn't mean you have to cut that person off entirely. Maybe you can talk on the phone or something. Or see each other at gatherings or in common places. But, you can say, I don't know, like, oh man, like, I know you're staying here, but like at the end of the month, I'm gonna have to do. I mean, if you're in a situation where you can move, and maybe it's a good idea if you've got like crazy stuff and crazy people knowing where you live now. Oh, we're gonna be moving in a month, or oh man, like, um, I've got to, I've got someone else I promise could come and stay with me at the end of the month, or I'm gonna be going out of town for work, like something. You can make something up, and even if you don't want to do that, just like, um, yeah, I've got to get my finances together. I've got to like, I don't know, get my health back on track, and so I need like, I don't want to like make you uncomfortable, and I need peace and quiet at 8 p.m. I don't know, like, but there are ways you can go about getting your life together and setting up boundaries between you and that person. Um, but you have to confront the issue. You have to do it directly, and you have to do it as amicably as possible, typically, but you have to do it. Mm, these fries aren't bad. It's cold. Um, so yeah, that's been my week. The other thing, like, knowing that you can't control people and being okay with that, which you should be okay with that, because if you were in charge of controlling a whole other human being, that'd be a lot of responsibility that 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't be equipped to handle. Especially if you don't have your own life together, you shouldn't be trying to control somebody else. Um, so, yeah, those have just been recurring themes with this family thing that's been going on. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've had like a very full week leading up to this weekend. Mm, I'm getting back to updating my Instagram more frequently. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's RL Professional Organizer, all one word. And yeah, I've fallen off a bit about like going live and updating posts and things like that with this other opportunity I'd been working on. Um, so yeah, I can get back to that. I've got some partnerships that I am working on putting in place. There's been, I was in talks with the television station, that sounds so old fashioned, network. Television network, about appearing on a show. I don't know where that's going to go. Like, it was going, proceeding along. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I probably won't know until after Labor Day weekend, because it's hard to get people. Yeah, people are weird before like long holiday weekends in terms of scheduling, and everyone has got like crazy stuff going on, doing the mad dash up to Labor Day weekend, um, or Memorial Day weekend, whatever. Like in the summertime, the long weekends. So yeah, we were talking about that, and then yeah, holiday week happened. So yeah, got some interesting stuff in the pipeline. Mm, basically, that is all that's been going on with me. I think I'm gonna go out and try to vlog tomorrow. I thought that Wilmington would be this cute place on a river. The name sounds cute. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of town or something. This doesn't feel cute. Granted, I've only seen it at night. But I'm gonna try to like figure out where to go and do some exploring. I'm going to brunch somewhere nice tomorrow with my cousin and his wife and kids. That'll be nice. And then I may like explore around town or just like go to the beach. Either way, I'm gonna do some recording. I thought about trying to do like some organizing videos tonight, but I don't know. I'm wide awake. I don't want to be exhausted tomorrow. But it's a Saturday. I won't be exhausted. I was up pretty late last night. I'm not very impressed with my hotel. And it's not a bad hotel brand. But like I read the reviews and they said that they had recently updated this property and the room looks nice. But around the hotel looks a little But again, I am a professional organizer. I do home interiors, so I notice details, but I don't know, I feel like the average person might notice some of this stuff. And the fact that the directory says the bar, lounge, whatever it's called, closes at 1, but the front desk says it's not open till 1. Stuff is just a little bit rough around the edges. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, I'll be here 3 days, 2 nights. And then I'm headed back to New York. So we'll see how things go. We'll make a good time of this. And I may catch some of it on video. But I'm gonna get off of here and finish my food. And maybe I'll like go to the fitness center before I like take a shower and all that and go to bed. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care and be well. Bye now.